It has been a couple of weeks since everything came crashing down. Honestly, I had been suspicious for a while, gut feelings, little things that did not sit right. But nothing I could point to and say, that's it. Still, I felt like I was losing my grip. There were signs, plenty of them. Odd behavior, defensiveness, excuses that never lined up. And when I finally asked her about it, just straight up looked her in the eye and asked, she blew up. Angry, loud, furious, even. How dare you accuse me of cheating? I would never do that to you. But her reaction only confirmed what I had already begun to believe. Something was off, and she was hiding it. So, I did what any man pushed too far might do. I looked, checked her phone, dug through her laptop. Nothing came up. She was careful. Too careful. So, I went a step further. I ordered a few tiny cameras online and set them up around the house. Discreet, tucked away where she would not notice. Then I left town for the weekend, told her I was visiting some old friends. I grew up in a small town up near the Minnesota-Canada border. Cold winters. Quiet roads. It was where I met Ayana. I was 20, she was 21. She had a little boy back then, Kai, just 3 years old at the time. That kid became my son. I raised him like he was my own for over a decade. Ayana and I got married 6 years ago. It feels pointless even saying that now. Anyway, I came back home early, made sure the place was empty, and started watching the footage. There it was. Plain as day. She was with another man, intimate, casual, like it was normal. And I knew the guy. His name was Cole. He worked with her. I had even met his wife. We used to have dinner with them. I never expected this. People talk about seeing red when they are angry. I always thought that was just a figure of speech. Turns out, it is not. I saw red. My whole body went tight. I lost control. I am not a violent man, never have been. But that night, I snapped. I punched the wall, kicked the bedroom door clean off the hinges. It hit the coffee table and shattered it into pieces. I was yelling so loud, I did not even realize I had bitten my cheek. Blood flew out of my mouth when I screamed. It hit the wall, the floor. Then I hit my head on the corner of the hallway wall. That knocked the madness out of me just enough for me to realize what I had done. I looked around at the wreckage of my living room, breathing heavy, hands shaking. And I knew, if Ayana had walked through the door right then, I do not know what would have happened. I might be in jail right now. That scared me. So I grabbed a bag, tossed in some essentials, and packed up my work computer. I do modeling and simulation for a living. It is a custom-built machine, and I cannot work without it. Before I left, I sent the video clip to Cole's wife. No message, just, your husband is sleeping with my wife. I could not face Ayana again. But I had to see Kai. I met him outside the apartment building. Gave him a hug. Told him I loved him, that I always would, no matter what. Then, in a moment I still regret, I told him his mom had cheated on me, that I had to leave. I should not have said it. He did not deserve that. But I was not thinking clearly. I tried going to my family across the Canadian border, but I got stopped because of pandemic restrictions. Now, I am holed up in a rented cabin on the outskirts of town, trying to work, but mostly feeling like a zombie. I have not spoken to Ayana. The only person I have replied to is Kai. He has been texting me questions, and I have tried to be as honest as I can. I told him I do not know what comes next, aside from divorce. I am still trying to find the right lawyer. Ayana and her family have blown up my phone. Hundreds of messages. I have not answered a single one. Only my parents know what is going on. I have not told any of my friends yet. Most of them know Ayana too, and I do not want to drag them into it. Truth is, I am scared. Scared of what might happen if I see her again. Scared of what I might do. And I do not want to lose Kai. But I have no clue how to hold on to that connection when everything else is falling apart. I am still so full of rage, I do not know what to do with it. I know I need to talk to Ayana eventually, but right now, I do not trust myself to be calm. I figured maybe writing this out would help. So far, it has not. I am doing a little better now. Strangely enough, I found a bit of relief in the last place I would have expected, a cage fighting gym. Let me be clear, I cannot fight worth a damn. I am not in shape. The only fights I ever got into growing up ended with me getting dropped pretty fast. But I walked into this place, explained my situation, and instead of mocking me, the guys there welcomed me in. Like I was just another man carrying something heavy. They had me working out for 2 hours straight. I thought maybe that would be enough, but it was not. So they put me in the ring with one of their seasoned fighters. A big guy, calm, controlled, and way too experienced. He clearly took it easy on me. No matter how hard I tried, I could not land anything meaningful. The times I managed a decent punch or kick, he just absorbed it and tapped me back. Nothing hard, just enough to keep me grounded. Each time he landed a shot, he would ask if I was all right. He even apologized once or twice. Imagine that, a guy apologizing for hitting me during a sparring match. He did not see me as a threat, just a man who needed to let something out. I got tossed around like a rag doll. But that session, getting humbled like that, it helped. I was still angry, but the rage was not burning quite so hot anymore. It was manageable. I could breathe again. I plan on going back. I want to learn. Those men, they were calm in a way I have not felt in years. I want that. I want to be that. I still cannot face Ayana, but I told Kai that no matter what happens, I will always be in his life. He seemed to really appreciate hearing that. I have spoken to a few friends we had in common. I have also been in touch with Ayana's parents. From what I hear, she has completely unraveled. She has been calling everyone, day and night, confessing what she did, offering money to anyone who can help her reach me. I was thinking about only speaking to her through a lawyer, but right now I cannot afford one. So I asked my cousin to be my go-between. I gave her a few things to ask Ayana, and we will see what comes of that. I also plan to contact Cole's wife next week. Some folks have told me to use my son as leverage, to tell Ayana that if she lets me adopt Kai, maybe we could work things out. I would never do that. Kai is not a pawn. I love him too much for that. If one day he asks me to adopt him, really asks, not under pressure, I would say yes in a heartbeat. But only if it is what he wants. Right now, I am just trying to take it one day at a time. I think I will be okay. Thanks to some good advice from people who have been through the same kind of pain, I finally feel like I have a plan. The old man at the boxing gym. He got under my skin more than I expected. At first, it was just the way he talked. He had this rough tone, like every word he spoke was meant to poke at something raw inside me. Nothing he said was untrue, and maybe that is what made it harder to take. But it felt like everything out of his mouth was a challenge, like he was questioning whether I even belonged in that gym. And it hit a nerve. Next thing I knew, I was defending myself, arguing with him, trying to prove that I was worth something. I do not know if the old man is just blunt or if he is some kind of genius wrapped in sandpaper. Either way, the guy made a serious impact on me. As uncomfortable as he was to be around, I started to understand why the others respected him so much. He helped me unpack my anger and made me realize that I had been thinking with rage for too long. He made me slow down and really look at what was going on inside me. There is a whole story just about him and what he taught me, but that is for another time. Let me get back to what really matters. A few days after my last update, about 20 minutes after I had gotten off a phone call with Kai, he called me again. He was crying. He apologized, said he lied to me when he told me things were fine at home. Then the truth came out. Ayana had been sitting in front of the television for days, barely moving. He told me she would just stare at the screen, and even when he turned it off, she did not react. He had not eaten much in 2 days, just a few sandwiches from a friend's mom when he visited. I was in my car before he even finished talking. The moment I stepped into the building, I could smell the garbage from the hallway. Inside, the place was wrecked. Dishes overflowing in the sink, garbage bags split open, sour food rotting. Broken glass on the kitchen floor. Papers crumpled everywhere. It looked like the house had been abandoned. First thing I did was check on Kai. I had picked up a burger on the way and handed it to him. I told him to stay in his room and eat while I talked to his mom. I told him, I am here now. Everything is going to be okay. He hugged me tight, tears rolling down his face. That hug, I needed that. I had missed him more than I realized. And right then and there, I made a promise. I will never leave him again. Then I went to check on Ayana. She looked worse than I imagined. Thin, scary thin. Her eyes were sunk into her skull. Dark circles, cracked lips, skin like paper, and her hair was matted and oily. She was wearing the same clothes from who knows how many days ago. Her entire body smelled like sickness and sweat. She just sat there, staring at the television that was not even turned on. I pulled up a chair and sat between her and the screen. There was a bucket on the floor next to her, half filled with what I figured out later was week-old vomit. Seeing her like that, I felt something shift inside me. My heart hurt for her. For a while, I forgot what she had done. Even after everything, even after she betrayed me, there was still part of me that wanted to protect her, that still loved her. And that terrified me. because it made me wonder what was wrong with me. She looked at me like she was seeing a ghost. Her voice was soft. "Are you real?" she asked. "Yes," I said. And then she broke. Not crying, screaming. Wailing. A sound I had never heard come from another human being. It shook me. And then, just like that, she slumped over. Passed out or fell asleep mid-scream. I still do not know which. I did not know how to take a pulse, so I strapped my fitness watch on her. Her heart rate was all over the place, between 100 and 150. That could not be good. I cleaned her up as best I could and made sure she was lying comfortably. Then I ran to our neighbor's place and asked them to watch Kai. I rushed Ayana to the hospital. She has been in the hospital ever since, about a week now, I think. Honestly, the days are blurring together. I visited once, but when she saw me, she had such a severe breakdown that the doctors said I should stay away for now. There is still no diagnosis. No timeline. No guarantee she will come out of this. I have put my focus where it needs to be, on Kai. He is in counseling now. I am making sure he eats, sleeps, and feels safe. He is doing better. But it is obvious that he has been deeply hurt by all this. And I am carrying a mountain of guilt for not being there sooner. I have spoken with a lawyer. I am preparing to file for custody for obvious reasons. I am also ready to start divorce proceedings, though I have not filed yet. Not until I know more about Ayana's condition. It took me and a few friends several days just to get the house livable again. I scrubbed every inch of the kitchen. The fridge was so far gone. Even bleach could not save it. I had to replace it entirely. Then I found something that shook me. Ayana had taken all my dirty laundry and arranged it in bed like a life-sized version of me. She had added pillows, socks, even shaped it out to look human. It had parts. I do not need to describe it. Just know that it was disturbing. I also found notebooks and papers scattered everywhere. Most of it was rambling nonsense. Some pages had long lines of the word sorry written over and over. Other pages started as normal sentences, then devolved into scribbles or wavy lines halfway through. I do not know what to make of it. My anger is gone now. In its place is sadness, not just for what happened to me, but for what Kai had to witness, for what Ayana became. I still hurt, and I still know I lost something I will never get back. A piece of me, the part that believed in being a good husband, a dependable provider, that part was shattered by what she did. It died in the moment I saw her with someone else, and I do not know if I can forgive that. But for now, I am not making any final decisions. All I know is, I need to rebuild, one step at a time. If she recovers, I will talk to her. I will listen. I owe her that much. But right now, everything is uncertain. All I can do is try to help Kai heal, and try to figure out who I am now. I am sorry this story does not have a big ending yet. There is no dramatic confrontation, no grand revenge. I am tired. I am broken in places I did not know I could break. And I am doing my best to survive. I have some things to ask, and maybe hearing different perspectives will help. If you are only here to say just divorce her, do not bother. I know in the end this is my choice. And I will do what is right for me and my son. I have not been sleeping much. I feel foggy most days, so if I ramble, bear with me. Ayana is still in the hospital. She will only allow her mother to visit. She made it clear that no one is to speak for her or try to influence my decisions. Her only rule? Nobody pressures me. I appreciate that. She has apparently confessed everything to almost everyone, told them she cheated, and now she is afraid I will leave. But she has not gone into details. She also wrote me a letter. Her mother brought it over. It is 32 pages long. I will not go through all of it, but I will share the main points. She apologized. Deeply. Not just to me, but to Kai and to us as a family. She said she will sign anything I put in front of her. Custody agreements, divorce papers, post-divorce arrangements. No arguments. She also admitted something I did not know. She had a 2-month emotional affair online before the physical one ever started. She included every detail. Full confession. And she gave me every login to her email, social media, and everything else to prove she is not hiding anything anymore. Ayana did not hold anything back in the letter. She admitted it all, how the attention from other men pulled her in, how it gave her this rush she could not seem to walk away from. She said it started as harmless flirting, a kind of game, something that made her feel alive again. But it went further than she ever expected. I believe her. Everything she said matches the emails, messages, phone records. She even pointed me to a thumb drive tucked away in her drawer. On it was a digital diary, nearly a decade's worth of entries. And what she wrote there lined up perfectly with what she wrote in the letter. According to her, the first online flirtation never became physical. No sexting. No meetings. It lasted a few months until one day she felt disgusted with herself and cut it off. But she never told me. She says she wanted to, but she was too ashamed. Then came the Real affair. This other man? He looked like someone out of a modeling catalog. Tall, athletic, confident. I had met his wife before, absolutely stunning. She looked like she walked straight out of a magazine cover. And somehow, the fact that he wanted Ayana, it made her feel powerful, special. Like she had beaten someone at a game no one else could see. She admitted it all. She knew it was wrong, but she could not stop. The deeper I got into the diary, the more it hit me. This was not just about cheating. This was about validation, control, addiction. And oddly, when he started pulling away, that was when she crossed the line into physical. Not because she wanted to, not because she enjoyed it, but because she thought sex would make him stay. She used it like currency, giving herself to him in exchange for more attention. She described the sex in her diary as lifeless, something she endured to keep the high going. Not pleasure, not passion, just obligation. It only lasted 4 weeks. They were intimate 5 times, according to her confession and diary entries. That lines up with her phone data and the hotel receipts. The rest of the story, you already know. But the last part of her letter, that is where it broke me. She wrote, "I do not know who that woman was. The one who cheated. I cannot recognize myself. I do not know how I could throw away everything I believed in and hurt the 2 people I love most in this world. I do not deserve forgiveness. I will not insult you by asking for it. My only hope is to help in some small way, if that is possible. I will do anything you ask of me. I will live with my mother once I am released. I will stay away unless you ask for me. I do not want my presence to be another source of pain. I will never be with another man. I am not safe to be with. I will seek therapy, even though I am still not sure who I am or why I did what I did. The moment I saw your face, the pain in your eyes when you found the footage, it was like waking up in a nightmare I created myself. I knew I had become someone evil, someone I hated, and I will carry that shame with me forever." I ugly cried reading it. I do not cry often, but that night, I just sat there, with her words in my hands, and I fell apart. I could not sleep, could not think straight. I ended up watching the video again, the one that broke everything. I watched her betrayal, and then I watched my breakdown. That footage of me smashing things, screaming, bleeding completely out of my mind. I do not even remember half of what happened, but there it was, plain as day. I do not know why I keep watching it. Every time I promise myself it is the last. And then an hour later, I am back at it again. I know it is hurting me. I know it is keeping me stuck. But I cannot stop. I keep asking myself, is it even possible for someone to get pulled into something like this the way she described? Like they lose control of their choices? I have read stories about people who fell into affairs during deep depression, about how grief and trauma can change who you are at your core. And from what I can tell, that may have been happening with Ayana. After her aunt passed away 3 years ago, someone she was incredibly close to, her diary entry shifted. Darker. Hopeless. Like something inside her broke. And that darkness never left. After D-Day, Ayana cut ties with the other man immediately. She even called his wife to confess. I know this because his wife told me herself. She also offered me something ridiculous, a revenge affair, just to even the score. Let me tell you, beauty aside, she was one of the most aggravating people I have ever spoken to. Everything out of her mouth grated on me, like fingernails on a chalkboard. I shut that down fast. We will never speak again. So now here I am. I have deleted the videos, both hers and mine. Watching them over and over was killing me slowly. I finally let them go. And still, I do not know what to do next. I have gotten some incredible advice these past few weeks. I am grateful. Things feel a little more stable now. Not fixed, but I have a direction. I feel like I have some control again. Ayana still will not see me. Her mother has been the only way I can pass messages to her. I reminded her, through her mother, that she said in her letter she would do anything if she thought it would help. Well, I told her I think seeing each other would help. I also asked if we could sit down with her doctor, so I can understand what is really going on. But her doctor cannot speak to me unless she is present. So I wait. In the meantime, I have been officially diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. Ayana has been diagnosed with severe clinical depression and bipolar disorder. The doctors believe she has a chemical imbalance that likely made her vulnerable to someone like her affair partner. That man? Turns out he has been cheating on his wife the entire length of their relationship with several women. He's a serial predator. His wife is divorcing him. She also told the other husbands what happened. I heard he got roughed up, nothing serious, but honestly, I do not care much about that. Right now, I have a buddy staying with me to help keep me grounded. And this weekend, I am taking Kai camping. Just me and him. We need that time together. I did try watching parts of the video again to confirm whether what Ayana described in her diary matched what I saw. It did. She looked empty, hollow. She was just going through the motions like she was not even there. It was uncomfortable to watch, but it gave me some clarity. And now? Now I wrestle with the big questions. Can I trust her again? Can I stop replaying everything in my head? Will I spend the rest of my life wondering if she will do it again? Can I ever look at her without seeing that video? Will I end up divorcing her years from now anyway, because I never moved on? The truth is, I do not know yet. But I do know this. If I leave now, I lose daily time with my son. And right now, he needs me. He is still shaken. He is still scared of being abandoned. So for now, I stay. I focus on him. I take it one day at a time. And I try my best not to let this break me completely. I keep asking myself what happens if I walk away now, what kind of message that would send to Kai. If I can leave his mother like this, in the middle of her worst moment, what is to stop me from leaving him someday too? That is how he might see it. And that thought alone is enough to keep me where I am. Lately, Kai and I have been going to the boxing gym together. He loves it. We train side by side, and every time we finish a session, I feel our bond growing tighter. Being there for him, it gives me strength. It reminds me that no matter how broken I feel inside, I still have a job to do. I still have a boy who needs his father. He leans on me hard right now. And to be honest, I lean on him too. He begged me not to leave him again. Said those 2 weeks I was gone felt like the longest of his life. I'm not going to put him through that again. I cannot. And the truth is, we have no idea how long it will take before Ayana is stable enough to be the kind of mother he needs again. If I pull the plug on this marriage now, there is no guarantee she will recover at all. Maybe she would. Maybe she would not. But I would be forcing that outcome. And even if I divorced her today, I would still carry the pain, the betrayal, the trust that was broken. The scars do not vanish when the papers are signed. I would carry all that into whatever comes next. People talk about starting over like it is simple. But is it really? What is actually waiting for me out there? I am not 25 anymore. Most women my age are divorced for a reason. Some seem to be looking for any man who can help them start a new family, not necessarily the right man. Some would play whatever role it took just to avoid being alone, and I do not want to be part of something fake like that. Hookups? Dating strangers? None of that appeals to me. I do not want short-term distractions. I want something real. And I had that, at least I thought I did. Ayana is still the only person who ever truly understood me, who could read me without words. It took years to build that connection. Could I find that again with someone else? Would I even be capable of trusting someone new? And if I did find someone, who is to say she would not cheat too? At least with Ayana, I know what happened. I have seen the pain. I have seen the regret. The odds of her doing this again might actually be lower than starting from scratch with someone new. Kai needs his mom, but she is not ready. And I do not know if divorcing her will help her get better or break her beyond repair. And for me, I do not know what would help me heal faster, being alone or facing this together. From what I have learned so far, the people who seem to heal the best are the ones whose spouses actively help them rebuild. But that takes time. A long time. I have heard 3 to 5 years is normal, even if both people are all in. And right now, I do not even know if she is capable of doing that. At least not yet. So here I am, stuck in the middle. Pulled between two extremes, reconciliation or divorce, and completely unsure of which way to go. I will not lie to myself anymore. I still love her. I wish I didn't. My pride wants me to hate her. But love is not something you can switch off like a light. Even in those early weeks, when I imagined her getting hurt as badly as I was, I never truly wanted that. It would not have made anything better. It just would have made 2 broken people instead of 1. The road ahead looks long and painful, but I am trying to be patient, trying to trust that with enough time, I will figure out the right path, not just for me, but for Kai too. If I ever offer her a second chance, it will not be handed out freely. Reconciliation will have to be earned. I need to see effort, real change. And not just from her, from both of us. If we do choose that path, it will come with conditions. Accountability, transparency, therapy. She will basically be on probation. And that sounds harsh, but how else do I rebuild trust? That said, I have no idea if she even wants to reconcile. The silence between us has become its own weight. We still cannot talk directly, and it is wearing me down. I need a conversation. I need answers. I need to hear her voice and see if she is still in there, the woman I build a life with. So if anyone out there has any advice on how to handle that conversation, I am listening, because I am out of answers. All I know is that I still care. I still hurt, and I still want what is best for my son. Thank you for walking through this with me.